G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing as the Chinese, it is Vortex. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the Blue Mongols, it is gonna be Wham01. And damn, what a beautiful little spawn he's got right here. This, of course, is King of the Hill. This is Golden League. If you are watching this on YouTube, then I tell you what, I hope you are ready to tune in for some more action, because there is going to be non-stop Golden League action coming up for you guys over the next week, over the next month. There is just non-stop action to be had. 15 GMT, Saturday, Sunday. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure you're there. I'll be casting tomorrow. So when you're watching this today, I'm just trying to think of the times. When you're watching this today, in like 16 hours from then, I will be casting Golden League as well. So, you know, check it out. Check it out. It'll be live. It'll be good fun. This is live right now as well. I'm curious to see what Vortex is going to pull out. As you guys do know, this is King of the Hill. King of the Hill, a map that is famed for Chinese power. And I gotta say, you guys remember Viper's world record high trade house? Can you imagine a high trade house in here? Holy shit, dude. You literally have like 100% coverage. There's like one little bit that you don't. Maybe not one bit, but you guys know what I mean. Interesting position coming out with the lumber camp as well, going over here. I would have thought he would go here. It would have made sense to me. And then you go Imperial Academy right there, and then you can extend your lumber out here. But this is also nice and little juicy. It's always one of the things that I'm thinking about with China. It's like, you know, you're gonna have to put down that lumber camp. You're gonna have to put down that Imperial Academy. Where do you go? You always want to try and get it so that the mill is close as well, and in that influence, because you're gonna get so much tax off that. And we can see he's already got some pretty insane tax level coming through for that. 8 villagers out on the food. And then he's going to be sending out 3 out over onto the wood. So this is game number 2 between these two guys. If you haven't already seen the top right-hand corner of your screen, Wham01 won the first game. I'll show you guys what it looks like. There you go. So it was on Dry Arabia. We had the English, we had the French that were played. And now we got the Chinese, now we got the Mongols coming out for these two players. And obviously we are on the home map of Vortex here. So that is it. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a tower rush coming out as well here. So Wham going to be moving out across the map. Maybe not even a tower rush. Maybe that is not the right word. Maybe just a villager rush. And this is always something I'd be scared to do. Well, not a villager rush, sorry. A spearman rush. Did I say a villager rush? Oh, I'm crazy, aren't I? I'm crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, no villagers coming out just yet. Okay, there we go. There's the villager. But I guess one of the things to note is the Chinese don't particularly need gold, but isn't that I don't know. I feel like this gold mine's very far away from the town center. This could be exploited here, but obviously, you know, if worst comes to worst, Vortex just goes, well, that's fine. I'm just gonna gather up my. I would just gather up everything from my my mill and from my lumber camp. You know, that's a very possible thing, a very viable option to do. Sure, you get up a little bit slower, but at least you're guaranteed to get up that way. But interestingly, he could just delete this mining camp right now, and he wouldn't suffer any. Obviously, he'd suffer the 50 wood. That would be it. But that town center going to be firing off here, doing a little bit of damage here. Spearmen going to be having to walk their way around and find another way. Now, when the outpost comes down, this is really going to mix things up, because there's nowhere else for Vortex to actually gather any of his resources. Obviously, he's got the deer there, and he'll be able to bring those in. But yeah, this is going to be a significant loss. If that tower, I'm assuming, is going to go down right here. Let's have a look and see where the villager looks to put it down. Does enter line of sight, so Vortex is now aware of it. He does go for the barracks behind this, and he's actually going to supervise. He's going to do a bit of chrono boosting a couple of units out. Villager actually goes down. Apologies for missing that one. That is a rare sight to see, a villager going down at this high level, and indeed that outpost is going to go down exactly where you would have thought it was, right between these two. And now we see the movement speed arrow going to be coming off, and he's just going to be happy holding this area down. Spearmen continuing to do what Spearmen love to do. He's actually rallying towards the front with the spears, and I think that's the right choice. You want to be going after the villager here. The chrono boosting of the barracks is a pretty smart move, and it's something that I haven't actually seen out before. But as the Chinese, typically you're going to be wanting to have a barracks at some point, whether that's Castle Age and you're going to be making Palace Guards, whether that's Age 2 if you're mixing Spearmen in with Chokunu, that could be another option for you. So adding in a barracks isn't a bad thing. You know, like as an example, if you're playing the French and you add a barracks in, like how many French games have you seen where a French player never makes a barracks? A Chinese player, they love making barracks because, well, it's just something that's very, very easy for them to do. And these spearmen, they're going to be useful for the rest of the game, you know, because we're playing up against the Mongols. You would expect that we are going to see some form of knight. So I feel like there hasn't even been any damage done at this point. Obviously, there has been damage done, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like, Vortex is fine. Vortex is fine. He's not struggling. This is an interesting village position. I actually love watching pros in their village positions because they so often just make no sense at all. Like, oh gosh, oh my gosh, oh geez. So the village is great for garrisoning units inside of them. It also provides a nice little bit of line of sight. It's a very big building as well. So typically you would want to avoid it. Villager does go down here in the middle. Typically you'd want to avoid it going down in a nice safe spot like this at the back. Like you'd probably want it like over here on the gold mine would be really, really good. Now obviously there were competing priorities there. He's trying to get up to the next stage, so it could always be a bit tough. But Barbican going to be coming up on the gold mine. Plenty of villagers out, going to be able to keep this one safe, going to be able to prevent any sort of shenanigans further happening. But behind this Wham 01, he's going to be thinking about going up to the second age himself. He's actually dropping down plenty of pastures here. So second pasture going to be coming down. He's obviously got the Gur out as well. A lot of spearmen still out and about. He's actually training them 2x2 throughout this period. So he could look to actually be going even more, more and more spears at this point. By the same token, I would expect the same thing coming out from Vortex. Always going to be an option in that town center, firing down upon these units. So much damage coming out. Look at that, 2 shots. Get out of here. Get out of here. Mess with the Chinese. Get the hand. You get it? You guys get that joke? Like, you know, like, what's the? I can't remember what the other one is, but like, you mess with the spoon, you get the knife. Like you mess with the something, you get the what? And like hand, because it's like the Chinese hand. I think do they have a Han dynasty? No, they don't. Okay, it's a name in China. Anyway. I guess the village does offer potential garrison opportunities for villagers that are on the wood line. Maybe that's one of the potentials there. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. Maybe that's it. Also going to be securing up a secondary food source as well as a tertiary food source. So not a bad Barbican at all. Actually a really good Barbican, and also keeps the berries here safe. This is like the god tier Barbican. I like this a lot. Really, really good position. And now Wham going to be going up. Plenty of wood in the bank. He's dropping down a second Gur as well. Third pasture coming out. He's got such a great little spot in here. Great little spawn. Going to continue just dishing out some damage with that Khan. And now we actually see Vortex looking to take a mining camp on the Stone Outcropping. So not only going to be going for that Song Dynasty, but going to be going for 2 town centers. A very strong opening here on this map. But the one thing to always be careful of is that castle age timing for the Mongols. You guys know they love to hit that, but obviously this is a great map for walling up. You know, I've never felt safer on a map. Like this is the kind of map you just feel like you are, how to say it, like you're getting those nice little cuddles from mum. Like that's it. Like you got the wall here, you're safe. You got the wall down here, you're safe again. And speaking of walls, outpost coming down, beautiful little outpost as well. I think he realizes, you know, how important it is to control these food sources. Khan going to be just dishing out a little bit of damage. It's in the second age now, so it does 1 extra damage, I think it does, so not terrible. We see arrow slits coming through on this outpost as well, and he's going to be able to secure up a foothold out here. No chrono boosting of the barracks. As you guys, for anybody who doesn't know what a chrono boost is, so if you're playing StarCraft, you can chrono boost a military building that you've got, called a gateway or any other kind of building that you want. Normally it's a gateway that you're doing it, and basically it's just going to make the train time of your production or your units in there just a lot quicker. And so that's essentially what you're doing with the Imperial official, is you're just infinitely chrono boosting. But I think that the technical term is to supervise. So maybe we should use that, because that's the game that we're playing. We're not playing StarCraft right now, Drongo, you dickhead. Second outpost going to be coming up. But remember, this outpost here, this is going to stop further encroachments, but it's not going to prevent this one. And once this one goes up, not only are you going to be able to deny these food sources, but you're going to be triggering off that annoying alarm that you hear all this time. So this outpost for Wham is doing so much more than the outpost here for Vortex. So that's a really nice play, and he's putting up a wall now, but at the same time, you just got to wonder whether the wall's even worth it at this point, because you've already got so much infrastructure over here preventing any potential plays, any potential shenanigans, and now looking to try and get in there. A villager going to be going down. Second villager going to be going down as well. That's going to be the third villager of the game that goes down here. So Vortex losing 3 villagers already in this game. We'll do a quick stock take and see where he's at. 33 with 2 Imperial officials. Compare that to his opponent who's on 33. So villager count's relatively even. Obviously, it is about to go sky high because not only do we have 2 town centers for his opponent, Vortex, but we've also got a Song Dynasty coming up. But Wham, obviously, when it comes to sky high, he's going to be thinking about his tech, and Step It Out going to be coming down instead. And so now you can see he's got plenty of wood in the bank. Where does he go from here? Where does he go from here? Look at that. The palisade wall, unable to get up. What good is a wall if there's a hole in it? Indeed, many questions have been asked. I think that was from the great philosopher Aristocrates. Is that here the philosopher? I'm just Aristotle. Let's go with that. Yes. What good is the wall if there is but a hole? Yes, that is the question. And you can see he's tried to get it up, lost a villager, probably going to even be losing a second villager. He has lost so many villagers today. That's 4 just to this wall. And what does the wall achieve? Like, obviously, you know, there is going to be a flood coming in, and he knows that there is going to be a flood coming in. But why did you have to put it there? Why don't you just put it behind Vortex? Sorry, I shouldn't be critical of him. I shouldn't be critical of him. I should be, you know, I should be telling you guys what's happening and not questioning what's happening. But sometimes you just gotta scratch your head a few times. But now we've got that age 3 coming through for Wham. Going to be dropping down a market as well as a prayer tent. Prayer tent is going to enable him to get immediate control of that center. You'll see outposts, you'll see spring-on emplacements coming up here, and you'll have to see some sort of castle timing come out for Vortex, and we actually see a granary coming out. Interesting timing on the granary as well. Nice little early in the game, 11 minutes. Interestingly, gathering up wood over on this western side. So one of the things that you could be doing, hypothetically as the Chinese, you could have your Imperial official out over here supervising your lumber camp and have all of your villagers over here, and then that way they're getting that extra 20% gathering of wood, which is really, you know, that's a huge amount of wood when you think about it. Extra 20%. Like, take that 20 villagers that you had and now make it 25 villagers. Or 24 villagers technically. But that's what we're talking about. Another villager goes down. Just Wham with the outpost control, holding it down right now. Still yet to see any particularly, like, impressive stuff coming out here from Vortex with regard to defense. That, I gotta say, the Barbican was nice, the barracks was nice, but I'm starting to worry now. He's lost a fair few villagers here. Let's check what the villager count is. 48 for Vortex compared to 40 for Wham. So even at this point, this is where the climb starts to happen. So there's going to be a villager climb that happens, and typically the Chinese come online around the 25-minute mark. And every villager that you kill, you are delaying their online just a little bit. You know, it might be 5 seconds, it might be 10 seconds, but all of a sudden you add that up, and you add up 5 villagers, and now all of a sudden you've got yourself a minute that you've found. And that's where the real difference is, and we actually see Shaman beginning to move out. You better not go back. Okay, I was going to say, you better not bloody go back. And ideally what you should have done is come out here to the sacred site, captured it, and then go on and pick that up, because now you got a lower movement speed, all that jazz. And yeah, it's just the little things. It's the little things. But second Shaman going to be out capturing it up as well. We'll take a look at how Wham's base is developing, and a second town center coming up for Wham behind this. So Wham just being very smart. I like this, because even if he loses the sacred site in the center of the map, then he still doesn't lose the game. And that's something that we have seen multiple times. You know, we saw that game between Viper and, I want to say Viper and Vortex. I don't think it was. It might have been Viper and Beast. No, I can't remember. It was Viper and somebody. And Viper held on for dear life, quite literally bringing the last villagers up. My game is frozen. Well, fellas, my game did indeed freeze. We are here. We're back, and I apologize for the little bit in between. So my game didn't freeze. What happened was I disconnected, and then essentially, obviously, because this is live, I just stopped getting data, and then eventually I just dropped, and that was it. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I guess I'll have to write that one down on the blackboard for my first DC of 2022. So thank you to my ISP, because it's been pretty decent actually. It came back within a couple of seconds, but you guys know what it is, right? Like, you DC for 1 second in a game and that's it. You get dropped out. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, it wasn't 1 second. It was probably like 10 seconds, but Let's talk a little bit about how this game is continuing to unfold, because Wham is looking incredible in his position right here. A stock take at the moment reveals he's on 48 villagers, and compare that up to his opponent, who is at the same time on 64. So there's a difference of about 16 villagers, and that could have been significantly greater. Vortex still yet to go up to that next stage just yet. Behind this, he does actually also have a market as well. So instead of opting towards, I guess, picture perfect macro, as I like to think of it, he's going to be instead dropping down a market. It's a little bit different for the Mongols, because obviously the Mongols get better trading rates, even though they pay the same as everybody else. The big thing that sets them apart is they actually gather up an extra 50% gold. And now we see another archery range coming down, and look at the units that are coming out here for Wham. Wham looking incredibly strong right now. I don't think there's... I can't see any way that China breaks this. This is impossible for China to break, honestly. This is... It was a smart move, I gotta say. I like the way that Wham played it, but I feel like it was almost a little bit misplayed here. Stables were coming out from Vortex right there. Okay, he drops them down to make sure that they're in... I'm assuming to make sure that they're in the area of effect of the Imperial Academy. Yeah, that should be on the corner. That one probably not, though. A little bit too far away. But interesting thing goes stables, though. I don't understand people who like to play stables on China. It is something that I very rarely see work. But let's see if Vortex can make something of it, because he's going to be dealing with outposts in the middle with Springald emplacements. Speaking of Springalds, we've got Springalds coming out. In fact, double Springalds going to be coming out. Crossbowman. We've got the Uvu has been depleted. He's captured all 5 relics. He's got the double town center producing. The sacred site was captured. I hope you guys have got your timers out. It was at 1340. I know that because that was exactly when I DC'd. It was about 1345. But you can just see the amount of military he's got coming out. Archers together with those crossbows. A lot of idols now that gold has run out to be heading up towards the next gold. Dropping down dropping down, I was going to say dropping down that Uvu, but it's going to be that step redoubt that comes down. But you can see the military mass. So from here, how does China even win this? In my opinion, the best way for China to win this is to go nest of bees and hope that you somehow, your enemy goes for like a Springald kiss and donates all their Springalds to you. I feel like that's probably the only way that you could do it. We see Trebs coming out now for Vortex. So this is typically a very good map for China, but one of the issues was that he was set so far behind by that early play. Not only the fact that he was forced to make a barracks, which his Imperial officials still supervising. Okay, he's picked it up. Not only that, but the fact that he lost a lot of villagers. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers go down here. We saw a 5th villager go down over on this position, a 6th villager go down on this wall. The 7th villager was the one that died early in the game. So he lost 7 villagers, and that was at a very early stage in the game. And up against the Mongols at this level, you know, you got to play it perfectly. You got to really play it perfectly, not just with your gameplay, not with just your strategic thinking, but with your micro level decisions as well. You know, and micro being a big part of it, going to be very important. But units continuing to funnel out right now. Wham looking very strong. A count at the moment reveals 67 and 44, or 67 and 45, versus 90 and 26. So about a 30 villager difference, but a 20 military lead, and that's going to continue to grow just because of how look at the economy right now. See, China's trying to do this transition to farm, and this is where it gets really hard. Can you imagine how nice it would have been if China had access to these berries and to this deer patch? These single outposts set China behind so far. Just a few spears out here to deny this villager would have saved him so much time, so much effort, because now he's had to transition over to farms, which would have happened, but it delays the castle age timing. And as soon as you delay the castle age timing, you're delaying the Springalds, you're delaying the trebuchets, you're delaying all that stuff, and that really, really hurts. And now triple Springald coming out for Wham. You can see him coming in. He's not going for much of a kiss, more of just going for a bit of a snipe right now. Vortex on the other side spots it. Barbican going to be firing down upon those, but we've got a traction trebuchet that's come out for his opponent. Wham going to be looking to deal some more damage, and more Springald outposts coming up in the middle, more and more, and this is just what's so difficult to break through from this position. It's starting to feel terrible right now for Wham's opponent, Vortex. Vortex is definitely stuck between a rock and a hard place, and now we got ourselves a bit of a ram dance coming in, but it's not a ram that's in the center. No, no, no. This is a Springald Bukaki, my friends. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I think that's the first time I've ever said that word on this channel, so to all my Japanese fans, welcome. Another villager does go down carrying a loaf of what would have one day been bread. Unfortunately, it is wheat. Actually, is it wheat? No, I think it's rice, actually. I apologize. That you would have never been bred. Springold's now firing off at the Springolds of his enemy, and you can see there's so many more Springolds coming out for Wham at this point, and he's going to be able to trade these off very effectively. And keep in mind that this is what set the Mongols apart, because whereas China is going to go back to the drawing board and it's going to remake all of its Springolds from its astronomical clock tower, it could technically make them from a siege workshop, but remember that siege workshop, you're not going to have that same efficiency with your resources, are you? You're not going to be able to do that. But when it comes to the Mongols, well, their efficiency is in numbers. And as a result, he's just able to get out more and more Springolds, as many as he sees fit. In fact, I'd love to see, has he got, yeah, he's got his double broadaxe in. Yeah, he is on the ball right now. He is looking very good, this Wham guy. He is looking very, very good. And now those traps going to continue unfolding down in the Barbican below. He's going to be losing it. He's going to be losing this clock. Oh, that's going to hurt so much. Oh, Vortex. Oh, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good right now. Vortex just getting absolutely stomped on right now. And I don't think there's any way you... How do you penetrate this, honestly, as China at this point? I don't think there's any answer to that. I don't think there's any reasonable way that you can do it. He's gone for Veteran Horsemen. Okay, it looks like he was hiding these both from me and from Wham at this point, because all those horsemen are going to be coming out, going to be making their way through. But this is how strong the Springold emplacements are on these outposts, is they're going to shred everything. Even if you somehow get through this entire army, which you might, even if you somehow manage to do that, the problem is you've got these Springwood outposts to deal with, and that's where it's going to be really tough. So let's look to see how it goes. I suspect it's not going to go very well, and indeed it doesn't look like it's going very well. It jumps out. It's 2-0. Wham win. Oh, God, what an anticlimactic game. Oh, my Lord. All right, well, it turns out the King of the Hill was indeed Wham. Wham, I gotta say, that Mongols look very strong there. That was an incredibly... I guess, when you think about the way that King of the Hill is right now, and the fact that it's got those forests at the back, it really limits where villages can be. And because it limits where the villages can be, it just makes it so easy for you to chuck up some outposts and just kill your enemy. So, well played to Wham. He'll be going through to the next round of EGC TV's Golden League. If you're watching this on YouTube, which of course you are, because I'm doing this privately. I'm not doing this live on Twitch, even though the game is live. As you can see, we can see the matches complete. You can see the stats. We can run you through that. Check out Golden League. Check it out. Check out EGC TV. I'll be casting over there. As I said, about 16 hours from the time that this goes up, I will be casting there. So I want you guys to be there. I want you guys to be square. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.